You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James. And in the fall of 1877, we ordered a Lotus Emira that was spec'd not unlike this one.
Yes.
And had we gone through with that order, it would be arriving about now. But upsettingly, we cancelled our Emira order.
It's a sad day.
It's a sad day. And there are lots of little reasons that we're going to go over in a bit, but there are some main reasons. One of them is the monumental delay it took to get here.
This much.
Yeah, we ordered it over 2.5 years ago, and we were told it would be here well over a year ago, and we had content we wanted to make with it. There was a certain time frame we had to do it in, and
it just didn't happen.
it just didn't happen. And
Didn't happen.
in that time, I've procreated. I have a baby now that's almost one already.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just didn't make sense to have two sports cars in the driveway. That was one of the other reasons.
Well, yeah, it's not a sports car.
Miata is a sports car.
Okay.
Anyway, we also haven't got unlimited money, so we had to allocate Emira funds, well actually less than half of the Emira funds, to two, we think, really special cars.
Exciting cars.
Yeah, that we're going to be taking on a road trip, full Throttle House adventure at the end of the summer.
But that's not what today's about. Today's about pitting the 2023 car of the year against the 2022 car of the year. Even though they're not matched in performance, horsepower, or price. Our car enthusiasm for them is equal, so we kind of want to see what happens when you put them side by side.
Yeah, we're going to drag race them.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to
pointless.
and we're
Okay.
going to do lap times,
Yep.
and we're going to take them on the track.
Yep.
And we're going to actually answer the question, if they shared the same year, which one of them would be car of the year?
And we're going to answer the question if James is an idiot for canceling an Emira order.
No, we're not answering that question. First of all, you were the one.
This is stupid. I told James I wanted to compare the cars of the year, not drag race them.
That thing's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There's literally a butterfly around it. It's like, oh, it's so pretty. I'm just gonna flap my wings whimsically.
Am I watching you do an impression of me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, traction, 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 and we're off!
I'm losing. Really, really, really badly losing.
Oh my god, that sound! That is an experience that everyone should have in their lifetime. Ooh.
It's not a slow car. This is not a slow car. That's just a really, really fast one. We've proven something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Should we do a roll race?
Why?
Because I have launch control and that's cheating.
I have launch control. I got my hands and feet, baby.
Well, it didn't work out for you.
No.
Let's remove some of you from the equation then.
Yeah, all right.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa, yes boys!
And he's gone.
That is an absolute rush.
Oh my God, that car is fast.
Flipping it.
Worth a try. No, it wasn't.
Okay, so we knew.
Yeah, we knew that was gonna happen.
The question is,
Yeah.
which brings the most joy? What? You don't know that yet? We haven't got to that bit of the video.
and gentlemen, the Lotus Emira. You've probably heard that these days, Lotus, the company famous for simplifying and adding lightness, has been very busy doing just the opposite. Thankfully, there's still a few chaps with some sense over there, and we're all blessed with this car. Light, mid-engined, analog. It has all the buzzwords that make us car folk feel a little funny in our downstairs. And this Emira, with its sport package suspension and on some fresh Cup 2 tires thanks to Michelin Canada, is as ready for the track today as it'll ever be. Now, I've never driven this on a racetrack before, only on a canyon road where it was brilliant. And right away, I can tell you, out here, it's brilliant too. There's just so much communication, world-class levels of communication. It's a benchmark. These cars, Lotuses, are a benchmark for what it means to tell a driver what a car is doing. Oh, the brakes are excellent. Every little nuance of the tires locking up, the ABS kicking in is communicated through to my foot, and of course the steering. I do wish it had more revs. I do wish the car had a few more revs. I feel like it's just getting going. Just getting going when I have to shift. But the power band is nice, and I really enjoy the noise. Oh, the damping is excellent. This is the sport suspension, so that means the spring rates and the dampers are stiffer to go along with these extra sticky tires. They're Cup 2s. And there is a lot of grip. Oh, that's fun. That is really fun. But you know what? We're not on a canyon road anymore, are we? So, let's make sure everything's turned off. Try and have a little bit of fun. Right away, I encountered a problem. Since this Emira is on the extra sticky Cup 2 option, it was way too difficult to unstick the rear. For the most part, it would just understeer boringly in the corner, and maybe if you're lucky, you get a little touch of rear end silliness. I was left wanting more, so I decided I needed to give it a little extra. All right, I figured out how to slide it. You have to go into the corner way too fast, begin to have an accident, and then drift on the way out. There it goes. All right, seems like some brakes on the way in. That's how you get it to move. So while I was struggling but managing to misbehave in the Lotus, James was having no such problems in the Z06.
This is just so much fun. What a brilliant car. No fucking wonder this was our top of the year. I haven't tracked this car yet. The last time we had it on the track, I was in a Ford GT, and I'm not complaining because that car was sensational in every single way. And we criticized the Z06 for having less than perfect steering feel. And I know the chassis and the engine, they're all so good that it makes up for it, but it's sort of like learning that your girlfriend's only erogenous zone is her nostrils. For me, it just doesn't cut the mustard. But these ridiculous Cup 2R tyres, just like we experienced in the Dark Horse, there's so much surface area to them that it's actually forcing some steering feel. And I feel quite confident in this. Oh yes. I love this car. I love this car. We get stuck in the supercar versus not supercar debate. And right now, I'm not sure there is much debate, to be honest. This thing is twice as exciting as an Audi R8. And if that was already borderline supercar, what the hell does that make this? Oh, stupid grip through the tires, stupid. This is going to put down one hell of a lap time. I struggle to think how the ZR1 and the Zora or whatever are going to be any more emotional than this. I get the lap times, but I just don't know how you can beat this.
Alright, let's take a look at the fastest lap of the three in the Lotus first. As I mentioned, this is an incredibly communicative car to drive, and with those Cup 2 tires, the traction from the rear is huge. So much so that I pretty much never had an issue with any rear end slip on the way out of the corners. I would personally prefer a slightly more aggressive alignment though. It does rotate a little if you trail the brakes in perfectly, but most of the time I was just fighting understeer. But even so, it's still extremely fun to drive just because of how connected you feel to it. Let's watch the rest of the lap. Okay, time for the Z06. Obviously, this is a totally different beast. The levels of grip in both the high speed and low speed corners, thanks to Aero and the Cup 2Rs, was mind-boggling. And I really loved the handling balance. It was so easy to adjust the attitude of it mid-corner, and you never have to struggle to get to an apex. It's also extremely fun to drive. It requires you to just give these little dabs of opposite lock to keep the rear where you want it, and with all the systems turned off, it's one of the best and most rewarding cars I have ever driven. And of course, that engine is absolutely perfect, as is the transmission. Honestly, I don't think I can find any fault in the way this car drives. Let's watch the rest of the lap. Okay, that was really sweaty. No air conditioning on a day. It's really hot today.
It's hot today.
My feet are starting to hurt through like the tarmac because it's so hot. Now, that does mean though, that the tires are really grippy.
I felt that.
So that does mean that the times are, you're not ready for this.
I think I'm ready.
You're not ready. Let's do the Emira first.
Okay, I'm actually not ready for that. I think the Emira on Cup 2s,
Yes.
with the horsepower it's got,
Yep.
it's a GTS 4-litre rival.
Yeah.
However, the GTS 4-litre is nutty.
It's a very, 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 very good car.
I'm going to go 111.8.
You're getting better at this.
Thank you.
It did a 111.50.
Oh, it beat the Cayman.
It beat the Cayman. That's huge.
What's up?
That's awesome. No, it's honestly a sensational car when you're really, really on it. I love all the nuances of the communication. It is really, really fun to drive.
You said most communicative car.
Most communicative car I think I've driven that's new, period. I think that's out there right now.
And that's a lot of value to that.
There's a lot of value to that.
But did the Emira beat the Corvette?
Okay, so this is going to be the news of the year. Cast your eyes to the leaderboard, everybody.
I was going to say castrate. I don't know why. Castrate yourself.
I like to prostrate myself before this because it did.
Okay, so same tires as a GT3 RS.
Same tires as the GT3 RS.
Technically a GT3 RS fighter, right?
Yes.
Aeroed, naturally aspirated.
What did the GT3 RS do?
106.67.
106.67.
But it has more power. And I felt this thing, and I have a feeling that this is going to be the new number one.
107.37 was the second fastest lap.
You don't think do us like that.
Actually, it was the third fastest lap.
Doing us like that.
Actually, it was the third fastest lap.
What is the first fastest? The only one that matters.
106.56.
Number one.
Number one on the leaderboard.
Numero uno.
Everybody, the Corvette Z06.
He said,
Top of the leaderboard.
Z, he gave you the American Z on that.
I did
Not
it
a
for
Canadian
you.
Z.
Did it for you. God bless America. Here it is. Mind-boggling speed, seriously.
And it really feels unbelievably good.
Yeah, it does the same thing that the GT3 RS did in the corner. That is hurt.
Yes.
It hurts. It's just G-forces. It's just, oh. But I think what made up the difference, and we're talking like tenths, right?
Yeah.
I think what made the difference is, other than maybe it was slightly better conditions today, perhaps, who knows, is that I could turn this better than I could turn the 911 GT3 RS because mid-engined. So I just, especially in the tighter stuff,
right.
it was easier for me to use the engine and not get it really out of shape, to just get some slip angle and tuck it in perfectly, right?
I think, not to take away credit from this and the GT3 RS, those Cup 2Rs are cheating.
They're cheating tires, seriously.
They're cheating.
But they're a seriously impressive tire. But here's the thing though, in order to do that, what they needed was downforce. And as a result of that, this is just filled with stuff. Look at this, there's these, there's that, there's this, there's these, there's that, there's this thing and that there, and this thing and that intake and this wing and that. It's just completely absurd looking.
I think I agree.
Compared to our other car of the year.
Which is just so beautiful.
Perfectly simple. This isn't the track version though. This isn't the Z06 of the Emira.
No.
That will probably come eventually, right?
Hopefully, unless they do all EVs from now.
Oh God, don't say that.
I know we sort of went through a few of the reasons we didn't get this.
Yeah.
It was not, one thing we didn't say, it wasn't easy. Like, I really struggled. Thomas thought I had cancelled the order 6 months before I had. I just kept...
He lied!
I kept going back and forth.
Yeah, you did lie to me. Yeah.
I'd get calls from the Lotus dealer saying, are you sure? And I'd be like, no, just wait. So when people ask, like, are you getting it? I was always like, I don't know.
But then it would have been canceled even earlier, but you know, you called the Lotus dealer and they didn't pick up.
Well, because it went through to Polestar.
And they didn't pick up.
Yeah.
And then you called a different dealer and they didn't pick up. And then, you know, you go to where the dealer was and it's just like an old factory. There's no one there anymore.
To be fair, Lotus Vancouver at the end
crazy.
got very responsive, and Gentry Lane here in Toronto were great. They
Yes.
knew I hadn't ordered it with them. They still let me just come look at Emiras. I was like a little kid.
a tear.
I love this car.
No, it's beautiful.
I think it makes sense. It still makes sense that we didn't own it, and that's
Yeah.
okay. And you know what? Harry's Garage did a great series on it. He did road trips. He has already sold it. That's how long this whole thing has taken. And then Todd from Everyday Driver has just bought one, and that was a super cool vlog as well. So good for him.
See,
I'm going to watch his journey.
I will say that after finally getting it out here on a track and, you know, trying to play around with it, as you saw, it was a bit of a thing.
That's tires, though.
Skid it around. Yeah, it was tires for sure. But at the same time, I was hoping that it would be a little bit more goofy.
Yeah.
Just a
we said
more.
when we drove the Evora GT that it's like the fact that it's not, the fact it's more of a precision-based vehicle that
Yeah.
means you can you don't have to be a good driver and you can rip a canyon with confidence.
100% you can with this, yes.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
And it's just so pretty.
It really does just kind of come down to that, doesn't it? In the end...
But it doesn't fail
You
anywhere.
look at it, no, it doesn't fail anywhere. It's brilliant. This is one of the best sports cars ever. I
Yeah.
love it so much. But
Like-
I just wish that I could be a bit stupider with it, easier.
That's fair.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
fair.
That's all.
I think slight negatives, having now lived with this, thanks to the owner, is the supercharger whine on the highway.
Yeah.
It's constant. It sounds like there's a washing machine cycle happening behind you.
Yeah, that's fair.
The seats are okay.
Yeah.
The sound system is okay. The CarPlay crapped out on me multiple times. It did some Lotus things.
But it's such a masterclass in design, isn't it?
And it's more fun than a Cayman.
It is way more fun than a Cayman. I know,
And it beat it around the track, so it's not less capable.
Yes, but remember, the Cayman wasn't on Cup 2s.
Oh, true.
I really enjoy looking at it. It's just little stuff too, like you don't really notice until you really pay attention, but it doesn't have, see that? It doesn't have a, look at the rubber sill on that window.
Yeah, that's like the
Right?
Range Rover.
It's like the Range Rover, it just goes right up the blue, goes right to the black. Such a subtle design on the nose, it's just stunning.
But really, we're being cowards.
Why?
Because at the beginning of the day, we posed the question of, okay, so first of all,
Yeah.
did we pick the right cars of the year for the...
I still think we did. First of
Okay.
all, out performance, incredible amount of engineering. I just cranked my ankle on this huge splitter.
So strong. His ankle's broken
My
already.
ankle is now broken. And this is the most engaging car, I think, on sale.
Okay,
Right.
so then the bigger question,
Performance engagement.
if they share a year, if they were to share a year,
Oh my God.
which one gets car of the year?
Before today, it was this one. After today, it's actually this one. Because this one, at the limit, is more fun to drive.
I agree.
Okay, so the good news is the more expensive car is better, or at least it is more car. The Lotus Emira, with its manual gearbox, superior steering, and smaller footprint, does feel like the more connected car, but the Z06 more than makes up for it in experience and performance. That was a GT3 RS lap time for half the price. No question, these are two of the most desirable cars of the decade. Were it not for the delays, oh, and James has added here, Canada's luxury tax, residual concerns, Facebook pages littered with quality control issues, and the general direction of the company, one of these cars would already be in our garage. Our question now is, which new car is going to take the 2024 Car of the Year spot? These two take some beating, and there's less than half a year of testing left to figure it out. I guess we'll see. What we do know is that we are incredibly grateful for the time we had to spend with both of these cars. So a huge thank you to the owner of the Emira, you're a legend, and of course to Leggett Auto Group, the same lovely team that entrusted us with their 918 Spider, for letting us feature their Corvette Z06. And also to Michelin for replenishing the tires used to make this day all the grippier. Thanks for watching.